8 Keys to Financial Freedom, audiobook. Introduction. The insight and simplicity of this book will help you go beyond simply reading the pages. It will push you to act. Each page is dedicated to building up your faith, inspiring you to chase after your financial dreams until they become your reality. The philosopher, diplomat, and educator Nicholas Murray Butler said, "There are 3 types of people in this world: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who just don't know what happened." As you read this book and apply its principles, you will become the type of person that makes things happen. You'll become so confident in yourself that you will declare, "It's not over until I win." Friend, you don't have to wait for things to change in your life. You can act now and create change in your life through the 8 Keys to Financial Freedom presented in this book. The 8 keys in this book will help you unlock your money. Enjoy. First key: one idea is all you need. Out of nowhere, you have an innovative thought. Immediately, you get excited. You want to share this brilliant idea with someone else, the idea that would one day make you rich. After the first thought, another idea zooms its way into your mind, backing up the first thought with encouraging gestures such as, "This can actually work. I'll make a fortune. I need to write that down. I'm going to be rich." At that moment in time, for some odd reason, it seemed like you could take that simple idea and turn your life completely around. You had supernatural faith and believed in that idea. Nothing could stop you from believing in that one simple idea. You felt good about it. It put a huge smile on your face, and you just knew it would make you rich. They did it. You can too. Friend, the simple idea you had that day could have been the first key to open the treasure of a life of financial freedom for you. The same way that Eli Board, Dan Gilbert, Mike Ilitch, Art Van, and thousands of others near Detroit woke up one day and had a simple idea that changed their lives forever, you can too. By acting on their simple idea, they helped build a better Detroit. In return, they all became rich. Literally. You can too. The keys in this book will help you accumulate as much money as you believe you can create or earn. However, my main goal is to help you walk in financial independence. From there, you can soar as high as you desire financially. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be rich, wanting to become financially free, and wanting a better life for you and your family. Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines financial independence as the state of having sufficient personal wealth to live without having to work actively for basic necessities. For financial independent people, their assets generate income that is greater than their expenses. Friend, my greatest desire is for you to learn how to think your way out of being financially dependent upon others or the government and into living a life of financial freedom. Then and only then will you be able to achieve your financial dreams and thrive in life. Make the decision today to walk in financial freedom. Take 100% responsibility for your current financial dilemma and start applying the practical applications this book offers to thrive financially. If you strategically implement the first key, you will multiply your finances substantially, more than you ever could obtain working a 9-to-5 job. Although one simple idea can bring you into a life of financial freedom, allow me to share some secrets and principles that will help you manage your money and maintain your wealth. You give your greatest attention to what you value most in life. Whatever you pay most attention to will magnify, increase, and grow. Therefore, if you start valuing your dollar, you will end up with more dollars. It's that simple. Learning how to manage your dollar will help you understand where your dollars are going. You'll be able to redirect your dollars into places, people, and things that multiply your dollar, not deplete them. Setting small, mid-sized, and huge goals will create a 99% higher chance of achieving your financial dreams. As you learn to win small financially, eventually winning big financially will come. These are the same principles we teach our clients at my consulting firm, Reverse Financial Dilemmas. We teach them how to win small to gain momentum to eventually win big. We create a detailed financial plan for our clients to reach their financial goals. We set SMART goals for our clients that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Then we provide our clients with tools to track their progress and a financial planner, an accountability partner, to make sure they follow through to win big. Please take a moment to visit our website at www.reversefinancialdilemmas.com to get a free sample of a financial plan to help you get started setting your own. This is the best decision you can make to start turning around your financial dilemmas. This plan covers every area of your finances. If you need our help, we will be glad to help you. Our financial plans are affordable and they will help you reach your financial goals. Most people spend their whole lives being debt conscious, lack conscious, and just getting by conscious. Shift your mentality to being financially free conscious. Make that your primary aim. Create a detailed financial plan for you and your family. Shift your focus to creating passive income, and soon you will be able to build up enough assets in your portfolio to thrive financially. Buy as many assets as you can and lower your expenses as much as possible. An asset is anything you invest in that brings you a profit or accumulates a profit for you in the future through compound interest. For example, you can invest in rental properties, stocks, and bonds to earn a profit. However, before you start accumulating more wealth and build up your asset column, the first thing you need to do is create a detailed financial plan, which will help you learn how to value and manage your money. Tune the guitar first and then play it. Download the detailed financial plan sample on our website, reversefinancialdilemmas.com, and follow our steps. Take advantage of the SMART goals I mentioned earlier and figure out how to apply them to your life. This will help you get your life in order to begin to thrive financially. During my 10-year search for financial freedom, I learned about net present value in business school. This idea simply states that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow if you invest it. If your grandfather bought you 2 shares of Coca-Cola stock for only $40 in 1919 and you never sold it, yet you reinvested all the dividends received each year, today your net worth will be close to $10 million. Amazing, right? That is what you call compound interest. Albert Einstein declared, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. If this is your first time hearing about compound interest, I'm sure you have been a victim of paying it through your mortgage, car note, or credit cards. Unfortunately, even if you have already heard about compound interest, you might have still found yourself being lured into paying it. Committing to a debt for 30 years isn't exactly living the American dream. Sounds more like a nightmare to me. However, in America, if you are not careful, you will follow the crowd instead of thinking for yourself. Carlos Slim's father taught him the value of managing his money. He taught him accountability and how to become financially literate. He acted on his father's advice. When he turned 11 years old, he made his first investment. Today, his net worth is over $58 billion. Carlos' father taught him how to make compound interest work for him instead of against him. If you want to soar financially, you must learn how to make that work for you as well. Friend, it's your turn to act. It's your turn to think. It's your turn to soar. Take a class. We have an 8-week class we will be teaching called Financial Freedom 100. You need to sign up, study money, and do what it takes to understand compound interest in order to thrive financially. What you seek, you will find. In the 6th key, we discuss one of the best ways to have compound interest work for you to multiply your wealth. What you don't face, you will never be able to conquer. As I looked at my own expenses and bills, they appeared to be more than my income. It was hard to sit down and look at my financial dilemma without getting upset. However, I made a decision to reflect on God's promises. I was honoring God with the first fruit of my income, and He promised to bless me because of it. That's when I realized that my lack of finances was only temporal. My best days were ahead of me. I grabbed a hold of that brilliant thought that invaded my mind years ago. One idea is all you need to experience financial freedom. That one idea helped me tremendously, along with the Word of God. No matter where you are financially, where you are going is much brighter and rewarding. Your best days are ahead of you. As you zoom in on your finances and write out your expenses, debts, and income, no matter how bad things look, be encouraged. You are more than capable of thriving financially. Set up your zero-based budget today and take control of your finances. Start managing your finances like a big business so that one day you can manage big bucks. How to create a zero-based budget. Write down your total income. This is your net income, the money you take home after taxes. Then, number 2, list all of your expenses, house, gas, phone, etc. Number 3, subtract expenses from income to equal 0. This is your opportunity to give every one of your dollars a name and assignment. If you write out all of your expenses and notice that you have $200 left, you get to decide where you want that money to go. Use the 3 simple steps below. First, pay God. Second, pay yourself. Third, pay your future. Also, the 6th key revealed the best way to pay off debt. Number 4, track your expenses throughout the month to make sure you do not go over your budget and to find areas you can save more. You will have expenses you do not need, get rid of them, and other expenses you can lower them. These 3 simple steps will bless you incredibly and allow you to walk in financial freedom. If you are a devoted Christian, I'm sure you're already paying your tithes and offering. However, don't forget to pay yourself in your future. By paying yourself and investing in your future constantly, you will never be broke another day in your life. God desires for you to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. Follow these steps and let His will be done in your life. First, pay God. Second, pay yourself. Third, pay your future. Following these simple steps will set you up for great wealth. Learning to pay God first causes God to command a blessing on you to protect your resources from the enemy and causes God to give you witty ideas and can bring you more wealth. Learning to pay yourself a percentage of your earned income will cause you to have great savings to weather any storm and embrace security. Learning to pay your future by using 10% of your income to invest in real estate, stocks, and bonds or your business will cause your money to begin to multiply. You will always have money by following these 3 principles. Number 1, again, take 10% of your total earnings and pay God. That's a church, charity, or the homeless first, cheerfully and freely. Number 2, take 10% and pay yourself second. In the 7th key, you will find my strategy if you do not believe you can start with 10% called the percentage indicator. Number 3, lastly, take 10% and pay your future. To invest in stocks, real estate, a business, or you and your talents, music, writing, design clothes, to multiply your wealth. Dave Ramsey said, being willing to delay pleasures for a greater result is a sign of maturity. It's time to grow up. Friend, I'm asking you to live on 70% of your income and use the other 30% to walk in financial freedom. It's worth it. Like Carlos Slim's father taught him, you can teach your kids the importance of using these principles as well and create a legacy of wealth for your family. If God be for you, then who could be against you? My goal is to get you to the place where your passive income is greater than your expenses so you can walk in financial independence. Once you obtain financial freedom, you will be able to travel as high as you desire as you trust in God to walk in your financial destiny. In his book, The Success Principle, author Jack Canfield tells a story about an Olympic coach who had a student who was ready to give up because he broke his arm. He told him to go look in the mirror and say, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. He told him to say this statement until he believed it, and it worked. The student won a couple of gold medals. Go ahead, try it. Look at your current financial dilemmas, then look in the mirror and say with authority, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I am going to make it. Say it until you believe it. It will inspire you to move forward and to do what it takes to walk in financial freedom. Doubt can steal your fortune. To get back to the reality of the first key and foundation to all wealth, one idea is all you need to become financially free. If you are not careful, doubt can steal your fortune. Napoleon Hill said it this way in his book, Think and Grow Rich. It is this: all achievement, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. It's not in hard work nor talent. It's in a simple idea. If you can think, you can become financially free. So what happened to your idea, the idea you believed in, the thought you were so excited about, the idea you just knew would make you a billionaire? Over time, you allowed other thoughts to swoop down into your mind to suffocate the idea and choke it out of your life. Those thoughts took away your ability to trust in the bright idea that you trusted in before. You may have heard any or all of the following. I must be kidding myself. How am I going to find time to do that? That will take too much work and effort. What if I fail? What are others going to think about it? I tried it before and it didn't work. I can't do it because the economy is too bad. I need a degree to do that. I'm not smart enough to do that. Of course, you have heard the biggest excuse of them all. I just don't have enough money to do it. The bad news is these same negative thoughts have robbed millions of people from obtaining great riches. Nevertheless, the good news is you do not have to become the next victim. You can hold on to the first key to your financial freedom and prove to others, as millions have before you, that one idea is all you need to become financially free. Your simple idea has a life of itself. Once you put faith in it, it will help you to obtain financial freedom. The Secret to Dying Empty. Dr. Miles Monroe wrote a book called In Pursuit of Purpose, in which he wrote these words: the wealthiest place in the world are not gold mines, oil fields, diamond mines, or banks. The wealthiest place in the world is the cemetery. There lies companies that were never started, masterpieces that were never painted, songs never written. In the cemetery, there is buried the greatest treasures of untapped potential. There is a treasure within you that must come out. Don't go to the grave with your treasure still within you. Why are so many people dying and burying their treasures? Most people either don't know they have a treasure within them, or they don't believe in the treasure within. You are not going to take anything to the grave with you. You will die empty. You have to believe that one idea is all you need to become financially free. By believing in this first key and never letting it go, doors will open to great wealth for you, untapped potential, and desirable dreams. The moment you realize your simple idea and have your aha moment, mix your idea with faith and act on it. This creates an unstoppable force to accomplish greatness. Within your simple idea is everything you need for your dreams to come true. There is supernatural power in your own idea. Inside the first simple idea are millions of other ideas waiting to be realized. When I wrote my second book, Ever Present, I didn't have a dime to get the book edited, printed, nor marketed. But I had an idea. I thought if I sold tickets to my book signings, I'd use the money to get the book printed, along with taking care of the other expenses I incurred. My simple idea worked. From one simple idea, I was able to lead the book signing after paying all of my expenses with over $1,000. At that moment, I was happy. Although $1,000 isn't much money, it was $1,000 more than I had before my simple idea. Not to mention the amount of testimonies I received that lives were changed from reading the book. I was overjoyed. I'm still earning money from that idea I had over 7 years ago today. I believe enough in my simple idea to take action. The results prove to me that my simple idea, backed by my beliefs and actions, equaled success. Most people think that obtaining great wealth and walking in financial freedom is extremely hard and complicated. It's not. Most people spend the majority of their lives conforming to others who think small. Many individuals are amazed at how easy they can make $100,000 in one day, while most people don't make over $50,000 in a year. When you believe in these simple truths and simplify how you are going to earn X amount of dollars a month, a year, or 5 years from now, you will obtain the wealth you desire. Einstein said it best, simplicity is genius. In Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, the 2nd verse, it reads, "Write down your vision and make it plain." When things are simple, you'll know without a shadow of a doubt you can achieve them. Everyone is a genius in at least one area, including you. Find your area of genius and thrive. There are millionaires in every profession, from janitors to investors. When you are grateful and appreciate the little things your idea brings, you will find that there are much bigger and better things your ideas will bring you in the future. Never despise small beginnings. They are only stepping stones to get you to your heart's desires. Where you start will not be where you finish, but if you never start, you will never be able to finish. You'll never see your financial dreams come to pass. Wherever you are today, look at it as your starting place. Nothing more, nothing less. Everyone has to start somewhere. Start small, yet dream big. Some people are waiting until they connect with big-time publishers to release their book. Others are waiting until they have a team of 30 people to start their company. Start where you are, with what you have. Do what you know to do daily. Your thoughts will develop and take you to places you see in your heart. Those people who always wait to act die full. However, the individuals who are determined to use their ideas find themselves right where they belong, on top. They don't sit on their ideas, they use them. If you don't get anything else out of this book, get this: act now. Use your idea, die empty, and start moving toward your financial dreams today. Let's take a look at a few individuals who did exactly that. Eli Broad's family moved to Detroit when he was 6 under humble circumstances. He graduated from Detroit Central High School. He had an idea to build homes in the suburbs of Detroit. He ended up partnering with his cousin, David Kaufman, borrowing $25,000 from his wife's parents, and the rest is history. His company went on to build over 600 homes in Detroit. He was the first home builder listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and today he is the only person who has built 2 Fortune 500 companies in different industries. His simple idea yielded him over $7 billion. Dan Gilbert was born to a Jewish family in Detroit. He graduated from Southfield Latham High School. Dan had a simple idea to start a company that originated mortgages on homes. He founded Rock Financial in 1985 with his youngest brother, Gary. By acting on his simple idea, he is now on his way to becoming one of the greatest entrepreneurs Detroit has ever known. His simple idea yielded him over $4 billion. He also owns a majority stock in the Cleveland Cavaliers NBA team, who won the 2016 championship. Mike Ilitch Sr. was born and raised in Detroit. He graduated from Cooley High School. He went to the U.S. Marine Corps for 4 years, played in the minor league baseball for 4 years, earning only $3,000 a year. And then he had a simple idea to open a pizza business in 1959. Along with his wife's help, their business soared. They franchised thousands of Little Caesars pizzerias. His pizza establishment, other enterprises, and sport teams he decided to purchase launched him into a whooping net worth of $5.4 billion. Detroiters, believe it or not, there are millions of other stories that prove you can do great things with a simple idea. Your simple idea is your launching pad to dream fulfillment. Your simple idea is a key that you can use to unlock your bright future. Don't allow anyone to tell you otherwise. Donald Trump's dad told him about a man who started a pop company. He started out selling a soft drink called 4-Up. It failed. He tried again by selling a soft drink called 5-Up. It failed. He tried once more with 6-Up, and you guessed it, it failed as well. 2 years later, Charles Griggs picked up on the idea and created 7-Up, which is a huge success even today. The moral of the story is, Never give up. This is not a baseball, basketball, nor a football game. The clock is not going to run out on you. You're not done until you stop playing. Keep at it. Your failures are past tense. Focus on your present and future successes. Anything is possible if you're willing to believe. Guard this key with your life. One idea is all you need to become financially free. It's true. Read it out loud. Act on the next opportunity. Act on that $1 million idea. Don't you dare die with all those treasures inside of you. Live and enjoy your financial dreams by acting on your simple idea. God didn't give you a mind to make a living. He gave you a mind to make a fortune, to help build the world around you, and to walk in your purpose while helping others. Time and chance happens to us all. We all have the opportunity to be wealthy and to obtain our financial dreams. However, most people neglect to act on their idea and seize their opportune time for great success. Don't miss your opportunity by not doing what you know you should be doing when your season comes and the winds of opportunity blow your way. A wise man once said, "Again, I saw that under the sun, the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happens to them all." Please don't be fooled into thinking that you don't have a chance to live your financial dreams because of others' gifts, talents, and intellectual ability. Friend, you are one of a kind. Your dreams are your dreams and not to be compared with anyone else. Opportunities will always present themselves. Expect them. Stay in your own lane and do what is in your heart to do. Remember, one idea is all you need to become financially free. Your wealthy place is one thought away. Don't conform to the world's systematic limitations. You are an original. Conformity will keep you broke. Be your authentic self. You can be as rich as you want to be. Do not allow your beliefs to conform to others' beliefs. Most, if not all, the people you may conform to are not in a prosperous place financially. Most people conform to other broke habits, beliefs, and mentalities. Then people wonder why they can't stop living check to check and why they can't get ahead in life. Conformity is what you get the moment you stop thinking. Friend, don't ever stop thinking. You were born to think. If you thought your way into poverty or lack, then you most certainly can think your way out of it. One day while I was listening to Earl Nightingale, he mentioned a great doctor who was interviewed by a reporter. The reporter asked, "What's wrong with men today?" The doctor was silent for a moment and then replied, "Men simply don't think." As I listened, I realized that the doctor's statement was profound. In this generation, we are dealing with the same problem. Think for a moment. When was the last time you stopped working, sat in your office, and started thinking, "I would love to make $1 million this year. How can I do it?" For most people, the answer is never. How about you? Tony Robbins remarked, "Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. Unsuccessful people ask themselves the wrong questions like, why can't I get ahead? Will things ever get better for me? Will I ever get a break?" These types of questions keep you from thinking. If you learn how to ask yourself the right questions, you'll be surprised at the results you will obtain. Ask yourself, how can I do this or that? This is a great question to ask when you are heading toward the direction of financial independence. You can do anything you put your mind to if you stop and think, how can I? To bounce back to the story Nightingale so eloquently shared about men not thinking, he went further to say, men don't think, they conform. When I am around individuals who have worked for GM, Chrysler, and Ford for 30 plus years, I am in awe at how they were able to continue to move forward with the company for so long without thinking of another way to triple or quadruple their wealth. This is not to put anyone down for working hard for someone else, because many have worked for companies longer and are satisfied with the money they make, including my dad. However, there are many other individuals who have worked for companies for years and do not have the resources to prove how much labor they put in. This is an unfortunate case. Never settle for less when you can have much more. Work hard, yet work smart and build your own wealth. If that last scenario describes your situation, no worries. What you will learn in this book will make up for most of the years you have felt you lost. It will help you think your way into a fortune. As you learn to mind your own business and not the business of others, go after your own dreams, live your purpose, not the purpose of others, soon you will soar and begin to earn more money than you ever have as you believe in your idea. If you are still having a hard time believing that your simple idea can turn your financial dilemmas around, I want you to take a look at Mark Bunnett's creations. The reality television series Shark Tank stars investors who gave hundreds of old and young entrepreneurs large sums of money primarily based on a simple idea they acted on. Also, I want to introduce you to Chad, Steve, and Jawed, who will wholeheartedly disagree with you if you don't think one idea can make you wealthy. Chad, Steve, and Jawed started YouTube in 2005. In 2006, just 1 year later, they sold YouTube to Google for $1.6 billion. These young men, who were all in their 20s at the time, had a simple idea to create a website that allowed others to post videos of themselves. Think about it. You or anyone else you know could have thought of this idea. Their simple idea made them rich. It's your turn to think. But remember, thinking is a great start, but thinking alone will keep you broke. You must act. The second key to financial freedom will inspire you to act on your idea. 8 principles behind the first door. Number 1, one idea is all you need to become financially free. Number 2, what you value will value you. Number 3, create a detailed financial plan to help you manage and value your money. Number 4, study wealth to figure out how to obtain wealth. Number 5, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you are going to make it. Number 6, you have a treasure in you. Number 7, opportunities will always present themselves. Expect them. And number 8, never settle for less when you can have much more. Mirror test. For the next 66 days, every mirror you look in, say this statement out loud with confidence while looking directly in your eyes. One idea is all I need to become financially free. Second key, believe in yourself. You were born to win. You were created to have great success. You are wired to accomplish great things in life. You have something great to offer the world, to build the world and to help those in the world. Those things that make you great, your gifts, talents, and abilities, will reward you financially. However, you must first believe in yourself. What you believe you can do is all that you will be able to do in this world. The second key to becoming financially free is you believing in yourself. What you believe you can do is all that you will be able to do. Sometimes because of past failures, our own mistakes, or people's opinions about us, we get discouraged and give up hope. I understand these things can be difficult to cope with, but think for a moment of your glorious beginning. Think about the time before anybody told you what was possible or impossible for you to do. Before you agreed with the bad cards you felt you were dealt in life. Before you ever received a C, D, or F on your report card. Before your parents ever told you that you would never amount to anything, and before your teachers called you stupid. You are wired to win. 9 months before you were born, you raced with 500 million other sperm cells, traveling through the long, difficult journey of your mother's reproductive organs, while only 200 sperm cells will ever have the chance to reach the egg for fertilization. You still somehow, some way, press your way through the difficulties, the odds, and the competitions to win. Failure is a learned behavior. Becoming successful is our innate ability. This first race inside your mother's womb was the hardest obstacle you will ever experience in your life. If you would have lost, you would not be here today. But you won, and 499,999,999 other sperm cells died. Why did you win? You won because you are wired to win. Failure is a learned behavior. Becoming successful is our innate ability. We tap into our innate ability once we believe in ourselves and accept the truth. The reason you are reading this book is because you know deep down inside your financial dreams can be realized, and they will as soon as you start believing in yourself. Before you ever learned to read or write, you knew how to dream. The first dream you ever had was against unbelievable odds, and it still came true. Your evidence is in your existence. No one had to tell you to win the race. Winning was in you from birth. You are a winner. No one can take that away from you. No matter what you have accomplished, how much money you have, or where you are in life, you proved yourself before by leaving behind 500 million sperm cells. Now, it's your turn to do it again by becoming financially free. Only this time, the race is not to get ahead of people. It's to tell yourself, I believe I can obtain financial freedom because I believe in me. You were a winner before you could read or write. Don't stop winning now. In an article, I read that before most adults become 18 years old, they are told they can't or no over 600,000 times. Therefore, to carry unbelief, self-doubt, and fear is a normal trait for most people because that is all they have heard all their lives. However, if you learn how to feed your spirit and soul daily with the Word of God, unbelief, doubt, and fear will not be able to weigh you down. It won't be able to stop you from obtaining financial independence. Remember, faith comes by hearing, and by hearing the Word of God. Faith eradicates unbelief, self-doubt, and fear. Learn to declare the Word of God. Meditate on the Word of God. Keep the Word of God in your mouth. Then faith will arise in your heart to help you carry out your true purpose in life. Travel at the speed of your own heart. Don't allow other people to determine the speed at which you travel to see your dreams fulfilled. Don't look at where other people are to determine your success. Go at the speed of your own heart, but be diligent. Don't go after riches for the money, but for the person you will have to become to obtain riches. For most people who believe in themselves, it doesn't take long at all to become financially independent. However, on the journey toward riches, you will gain personal growth and many invaluable lessons. Jim Rohn said his mentor taught him not to go after riches for the money, but for the person you will have to become to obtain the riches. Mr. Schoaf said, Jim, if you want to be wealthy and happy, learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. This is great advice. Learn to become grateful and content where you are, yet stay determined to move forward. You could become a millionaire today and broke by tomorrow in this world. Give your dreams time to unfold and never give up hope. Winning is in your DNA. The only way you can lose in life is to stop trying. Never, ever give up hope. Friend, you were born to live your dreams. You are a winner. Just believe, get up, and make it happen. Get back in the game. Detroiters, this is your opportunity right here, right now, to believe differently than most of the world. Although most people will not admit it, deep down inside, they don't believe they can ever be able to see their financial dreams come to pass. They suffer from a poor self-image for a number of reasons. People have given up hope on their financial dreams. They don't believe they can achieve financial freedom. It's unfortunate that people of all ages have thrown in the towel and don't believe they will ever make it out. Many people have only lived the first quarter of their lives and still have 3 full quarters left to go. If you are dealing with low self-esteem, if you have left the game or want to quit, allow me to be your coach. Get back in the game. Hold your head up. This is not the end of the game. You are not going to lose. You will win. All you have to do is believe in yourself. No one can limit you but you. In the movie Gifted Hands, based on the true story about Ben Carson, his mother said something to him that stuck out to me. I believe it helped him to fulfill his dreams of becoming a brain surgeon. She told him, "Ben, you can do anything anybody else can do, only you can do it better." Why did his mother take the time to tell him this? His mother knew in order for her son to accomplish anything in life, he had to first believe in himself. You can do anything anybody else can do, only you can do it better. Your age, your current circumstance, and your net worth doesn't matter at this moment. All that matters is if you are willing to pick up your head and strive to live your financial dreams. Say it to yourself, I can become financially free. I believe in myself. I can become an investor. I can own my own business. I can live off my passive income. Nido Qubein said, whether you are a success or a failure in life has little to do with your circumstances. It has much more to do with your choices. Make a decision today to live the best life. Believe in yourself and thrive. If you think you can, believe me, you can and you will. My father used to say to me, what a man continues to think about, he will one day become. He wanted me to realize that if I continued to think I was a nobody, I wouldn't go far. Whatever I think, whatever I believe is that which I receive and will achieve. I am somebody. I am not a mistake. I can go anywhere I want to. The same principles apply to you. Your thoughts will eventually change your beliefs. Your beliefs then change your behavior. Your behavior change your actions. Then and only then will you go where you know you belong, and that's to the top. What a man continues to think about, he will one day become. It's your turn to think. Think well about yourself. Let the past be just that, the past. Look up and see your future full of opportunities, full of possibilities, and full of life. Take Doretha Brand's advice. Act as if it were impossible to fail. The only people who fail are individuals who never try or individuals who try and then quit. Friend, you are not a quitter, you are a winner. All you have to do is get up and do it. Act as if it were impossible to fail. Give yourself permission to thrive. Don't go another day living a mediocre life. You are an extraordinary person. Go after your dreams of financial freedom. Don't wait for your dreams to come to you. Be confident, be brave, and persistent. You can do it. Act now. Today is the day you start moving toward your financial freedom. You become successful the moment you go after your financial dreams. Success is a journey, not a destination. Success is a journey, not a destination. Therefore, the day you decide to believe in yourself and act on your idea is the day you become a success. Earl Nightingale put it this way: success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. Noah Webster describes success as the satisfactory accomplishment of a goal sought for. You don't become successful the moment you obtain your dreams. You become successful the moment you decide to go after your dreams. Success will always be mental before it manifests in the natural. You can't obtain success unless you genuinely believe in yourself. I'm not encouraging you to be cocky or prideful. I am telling you to be you. Be confident in the person God made you to be, the person who is designed to be a success. Throw your heart at your dream. There was once a young man who didn't believe in himself. Whatever his instructor asked him to do, he didn't think he could do it. The trapeze artist instructed him to jump up and grab the highest trapeze. He told him to flip off of it to the next trapeze and grab a hold of it. He was afraid. He thought it was too hard and didn't believe it was possible for him. Yet his mentor told him, "You can do it. It is not complicated. I'm going to show you how. Throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow. Throw your heart at your dreams and you will go places you have never dreamed. Friend, throw your heart at your dreams and your body will follow. Your heart will take you places you have never dreamed. Today is your day to move forward. Not tomorrow nor next week, but today. Your time is now. The third key is going to help you unload all of that heavy baggage that tries to keep you down. 8 principles behind the second door. Number 1, what you believe you can do is all that you will be able to do. Number 2, failure is a learned behavior. Becoming successful is our innate ability. Number 3, you were a winner before you could read or write. Don't stop winning now. Number 4, don't go after riches for the money, but for the person you will have to become to obtain riches. Number 5, what a man continues to think about, he will one day become. Number 6, act as if it were impossible to fail. Number 7, you become successful the moment you go after your financial dreams. And finally, number 8, throw your heart at your dreams and you will go places you have never dreamed. Third key, get rid of your excuses. T.D. Jakes said, someone else could have won with the bad hand you have been dealt. Friend, this statement is true. It doesn't matter how bad of a hand you believe you were dealt in life, you will always find someone else who went through similar situations as yours, or worse. It is called life. Somebody else could have won with the bad hand you have been dealt. Warren G. Lester asserted, success in life comes not from holding a good hand, but in playing a poor hand well. He is right. I'm not trying to belittle your hardship, but it's time to move forward and play the hand you have been dealt. Someone else could win with your hand. Rain falls on the just as well as the unjust. Whether you believe you are a good person or bad person, you are going to have to deal with some rain every now and then. No one is exempt from trials, tribulations, and hardships in this life. Neil Donald Walsh said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. You might be uncomfortable, but allow it to push you into greatness, not despair. Everyone has had to face some type of difficulties in their past. Most adults have dealt with some sort of financial dilemma. You are not alone. The secret to overcoming your past is to forget where you have been, focus on where you are going, and get rid of your excuses that attempt to prevent you from arriving at your desired destination. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. The rain falls on everyone. Friend, you must walk away from the I can't type of person and embrace the new person you are becoming, which is the I can type of person. You can forget your past. You can focus on your future, and you can get rid of your excuses. Not in a year from now, but today. Decide that you are no longer going to live in your past. You will live in the present, which will cause you to obtain the bright future you desire. Follow the simple statement Nike has made marketing for years. Just do it. You will be amazed at what happens when you act in confidence on what you truly want to do. Your actions turns on your beliefs. All things are possible to them that believe. All things are possible to them that believe. Friend, this chapter was designed for you to let go of false beliefs and myths. It was written for you to start believing what is necessary for you to move forward on your idea. The only limitations you have are the ones you put on yourself. Anything you want bad enough, those things you are willing to go after without accepting rejection, you will obtain. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Many people have allowed every excuse possible to hold them back from their financial dreams, but I don't want that to be you. These are some of the myths people hang on to, which keep them from their financial dreams. So what if you don't have enough money? You may be thinking, you have no idea what my current circumstances are. I'm broke. I do not have any money. What good is an idea going to do me if I don't have any money? Well, let's take a look at some other people who can relate to your misfortune. John D. Rockefeller was born in Richford, New York, in poverty. His father was a traveling salesman who stayed away from home a lot due to business. His mother did whatever work she could find in order to provide for him and her other 5 children. John's first job paid him $50 every 3 months. Then he had a bright idea to produce a business with his friends, Maurice B. Clark. They established a firm and ended up building an oil refinery. The rest is history. John bought out the Clark brothers, then founded the Standard Oil Company and became the world's first billionaire. J.K. Rowling was born in England. Rowling's mother died in 1990, and shortly afterwards, she separated from her husband in 1993. She was diagnosed with clinical depression and frequently contemplated suicide. At that time, she was also unemployed and living on welfare. Then, she had a simple idea to write a novel because she always loved to write. She finished her first novel, and today, J.K. Rowling is worth about $1.1 billion. She sold over 400 million books. Andrew Carnegie was born into poverty in Scotland. For years, his parents had a hard time bringing in money to provide for their household. They decided to move to America. At 13, he began working 12-hour days, 6 days a week at a cotton mill. He worked hard, and because of it, he was recognized and asked to work at the Pennsylvania Railroad Company. While working there, he made more money and had a simple idea to start investing into railroad companies. Eventually, he also invested in the steel industry. His investments paid off, and he bought his own steel company, which yielded him $120 billion. Who told you you're not smart enough? You may be thinking, I'm not smart enough to come up with an idea to make millions. So let's look at some simple ideas that yielded millions. Gary Dale was sitting in a bar with some of his friends drinking booze. They started talking about how hard it was to take care of their pets at home. Gary thought for a moment and came up with an idea to make a pet rock. After all, you don't have to feed it, bathe it, or clean it. This simple idea made Gary millions of dollars. Ken DeLulu was playing with his dog one day and noticed that the sun was hurting his dog's Midnight's eyes. He thought it would be nice for Midnight to have some sunglasses. When he put goggles on his dog, he found out that dogs need special shaped goggles. Therefore, he and his wife manufactured eyewear to fit their dog, which is called doggles. This simple idea made Ken millions of dollars. Gary Naudo had a simple idea one day, probably after she overslept and hit the snooze button on her alarm clock. She thought to herself, what if the clock runs away from you into an unknown location in the room and annoys you from there with the alarm sound? 3 days later, she invented Clocky, an alarm clock with wheels covered with a rug to look like a pet. This simple idea made her millions of dollars. What if my idea doesn't succeed? You may be thinking, what if my idea fails? I've already tried to use my idea 100 times. It just didn't work out for me. So let's look at some stories to see if these individuals' experience will give you hope. Henry Ford, while Ford is known today for his innovative assembly line and American-made cars, he wasn't an instant success. In fact, his early businesses failed and left him broke 5 times before he founded the successful Ford Motor Company. R.H. Macy. Most people are familiar with the large department store chain, but Macy didn't always have it easy. Macy started 7 businesses that failed before finally hitting it big with his huge store, Macy's, in New York City. Harlan David Sanders, perhaps better known as Colonel Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken, Sanders had a hard time selling his chicken at first. In fact, his famous secret chicken recipe was rejected 1,009 times before a restaurant accepted it. Thomas Edison, in his early years, teachers told Edison he was too stupid to learn anything. Work was no better, as he was fired from his first 2 jobs for not being productive enough. Even as an inventor, Edison made 1,000 unsuccessful attempts at inventing the light bulb. Of course, those unsuccessful attempts finally resulted in the design that worked. Everyone keeps rejecting me. You might be thinking, I've been rejected and put down, and no one thinks I can amount to anything, especially my parents. So let's take a look at a few people who had to overcome some of the same problems. The Beatles were turned down by a recording company who said, we don't like their sound and guitar music is on the way out. Yet they continued to sing and became one of the biggest groups ever. Beethoven. A music teacher told Beethoven that as a composer, he was hopeless. He disagreed, continued pursuit of his passion, and became one of the world's greatest composers. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no original ideas. Yet, he created Walt Disney World, one of the greatest places on earth. Let your rejection fuel your engine to help you lay hold of your dreams. Jack Canfield and Mark Hansen were rejected a total of 140 times. Chicken Soup for the Soul now has 65 different titles and has sold over 80 million copies all over the world. The answer for all your excuses, if you haven't figured it out yet, your simple idea is more powerful and much bigger than any excuse. There are millions of people who allowed excuses to stop them from implementing their ideas. However, the individuals who moved on their simple idea ended up living their financial dreams. Your simple idea is more powerful and much bigger than any excuse. You are no different from anyone else. If you let go of your excuses, your simple idea has the ability to change your life. Everyone won't agree. Everyone won't understand your idea at first. Don't let that stop you. Aristotle asserted, to avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Again, to avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Negative thoughts will always try to rob you of your dreams and your ideas. However, you must decide if you are going to allow those negative thoughts to prevail against your simple idea. The people we have mentioned thus far are normal people just like you who have to overcome fears, doubts, hardships, and negative thoughts before they acted on their ideas. On the other side, their ideas paid off tremendously. Make the decision to walk away from lack. While reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, You Can Choose to Be Rich, he said, one of the greatest assets someone can have is their own idea. He is absolutely right. Your idea can take you anywhere you dare to believe you can go. Life is too short for you not to enjoy it. Most people who act on their dreams find themselves living a life a lot more rewarding, joyful, and fulfilling than those who don't. These individuals have something to look forward to, a hope, an expectation. People who don't have anything to look forward to, people who lose hope, are dangerous people. Those who have lost hope don't live by any principles. Therefore, you never know what they may end up doing. These individuals have forsaken their dreams. On the other hand, people like you, who have something to look forward to, live by basic principles that lead them into the reality of living their financial dreams. Friend, you may have all the excuses in the world, but no excuse in the world is bigger than your idea. Once you put your idea into action, you'll find it is the answer to your problems. When excuses arise, think about where your simple idea is going to take you. Keep the firm belief in your heart that your idea is much bigger and greater than any excuse. The choice is yours. You can live in your dreams or die with them. The ball is in your hand. My goal is to give you hope and strengthen your faith so that you will know that you are more than capable of having a simple idea yield you a fortune. Forget your past, focus on your future, get rid of your excuses. The fourth key will be yours for the taking. The 8 principles behind the third door are: number 1, Someone else could have won with the bad hand you have been dealt. Number 2, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Number 3, all things are possible to them that believe. Number 4, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Number 5, let your rejection fuel your engine to help you lay hold of your dreams. Number 6, your simple idea is more powerful and much bigger than any excuse. Number 7, to avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Number 8, make the decision to walk away from lack.
Fourth key, meet destiny. Hello, my name is Kristen, but you can call me Destiny. You can think of me as your personal navigational system. My husband asked me to teach you a secret I learned years ago that motivated and inspired me to chase after my financial dreams. The simple phrase that sums up what I learned is this: begin with the end in mind. My father used to say, where there is no vision, the people perish. Friend, you must know exactly where you are going if you really want to get there. Zig Ziglar said, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. Begin with the end in mind. There is an old saying, if you don't know where you are going, any road will get you there. I like to say, if you know where you are going, you will find the road to get you there. Friend, it doesn't matter what road you were on before you picked up this book. You can get on the right road to acquire wealth. Seek wisdom regarding wealth and follow the keys to financial freedom. If you seek, you will find exactly what you need to live your financial dreams. If you know where you are going, you will get there. Every year, my husband and I create a vision board. We set financial goals that we want to achieve by the end of the year. Motivational speaker Brian Tracy says, clear, written goals are all it takes to succeed on a big scale. You can find hundreds of individuals who create goals, yet few individuals who follow through with them because they are too complex. We write down exactly how we are going to accomplish our goals using our simple idea. Our vision board is our desired end for the current year. On another board, we capture those things we want to achieve years from now. This vision board captures our purpose and our destiny. If you are serious about walking in financial freedom, you must be willing to do the things that reaffirm where you are going. Create a yearly vision board. When I watched the Gabby Douglas story, I noticed that their family had a vision board. At a young age, Gabby added an Olympic gold medal to their vision board. However, she paid an enormous price for her dream to come to pass. She moved away from her family in Virginia to Des Moines, Iowa, to train full-time with coach Lang Chow at 14 years old. Gabby knew where she wanted to go, and because of it, she found out what it would take for her to get there. It paid off. She made history by becoming the first American gymnast to win 2 gold medals, the individual all-round competition and team competitions. Gabby, like most dreamers, began with the end in mind. Are you willing to take out time this week to search magazines and the internet for pictures that reveal where you are going, your desired end? Are you willing to begin with the end in mind so that no matter what comes your way, you can hold on to your dream and continue to pursue it? Millions have benefited from this simple step. You will too. Start today. This step is more than just planning or writing down your ideas. It requires you to act. Action point. Create a vision board. This board should capture a vision of your ultimate goals. When someone else looks at your vision board, he or she should be able to tell if you want to travel, get married, or even start your business. Your board should reflect your passion. When someone else looks at your vision board, he or she should be able to tell if you want to travel, get married, or start a business. Your board should reflect your passion. What kind of house do you want to live in? What types of cars and how many do you want to own? What kind of person do you want to become? Be as detailed as possible when you create your vision board. Look at it at least one time a day and tell yourself it's only a matter of time before you are mine. Leave a space at the top in the middle to write in your simple idea that will help you bring your vision to fruition. Speak what you want and not what you see. You need two important ingredients to achieve dream fulfillment: your words and your thoughts. Your words and your thoughts work together to help you reach your desired results. If you continue to speak and think like impoverished people, you can become as financially rich as you want. But your words and thoughts will lead you back to poverty. For example, lottery winners. But if you learn how to speak and think like a king or a queen, it's only a matter of time before you obtain great wealth and keep it. What you see around you is only temporary. The vision you hold in your heart is what will become your reality. If the vision you hold in your heart is that of poverty, it will always be impoverished until that vision changes. But if the vision in your heart is wealth, and it is a dominant thought, you will soon experience wealth. You can always tell what it is in a person's heart by the words they speak. The Bible reveals this profound truth by saying, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks." Whatever is in your heart, doubt and lack, or faith and riches, it is what you will speak. What you continue to speak will eventually fill up in your heart in abundance. Your heart is where your core belief system abides. When a man believes something in his heart, his actions follow and he obtains his desired results. Choose your destiny to become financially free, not just in your mind, but also in your heart. Your words will help you get there. Most people only want to be rich or financially free in their minds. They refuse to act on their ideas and fight the good fight of faith to obtain their rewards. Most businesses take 3 to 5 years to return a profit. Therefore, individuals who start their own companies must prepare themselves for what most people would consider years of failure and loss. However, millions of people throughout history have still been able to start successful businesses that yield billions of dollars. I can guarantee you that 90% of these men and women have the confidence to start their businesses and the patience to keep moving until they saw their desired results. You have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. Proverbs 6:2. When you speak positively concerning your financial conditions, you will see a big difference in your confidence concerning your financial future. Your heart is being filled with the faith to believe in your dream and to see it come to pass, no matter how long it takes. Many individuals underestimate the power of their words. Then they wonder why they are in the mess that they are in right now. You cannot get to your desired future if you don't learn to speak positively. Everything was created by someone's belief, their thoughts and words. Someone thought it and then carried it in their heart until faith arose. They spoke it, and like magic, their creation now exists. Your words have a lot to do with where you are right now in life. If you are happy or sad, rich or poor, successful or unsuccessful, it has a lot to do with what you think, which ultimately produces what you say. Life happens to us all, but our thoughts, followed by our words, dictate what happens next. Life happens to us all, but our thoughts, followed by our words, dictate what happens next. Where you are right now in life is temporary, seasonal, and not permanent. You can speak your way out of where you are right now into a place of financial prosperity. Every thought and word has a monumental impact on your future. Friend, you can change every day. You can either move further in life and change for the better, or shrink further and further backwards and change for the worse. Each day, your thoughts and your words are growing brighter or darker in your life. Therefore, it's a choice. Choose wisely. What you speak and think, your wallet will thank you. You were born to win. Positive thinkers and positive speakers have the winning attitude that it takes to win big. They've already made a decision to be winners. The average adult makes 35,000 decisions a day. All you have to do is change one. Train your mouth to speak only good things, and that is exactly what you will reap in life. Use the magnetic force wisely. Your words are a magnetic force, forcefully bringing things into your life. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." This was my Father's way of telling us that my words were more powerful than my thoughts. In order to get where we desired to go, we had to change our vocabulary. We had to speak what we wanted, not what we saw. This truth really hit me as I grew up and started interacting in different social environments. Those individuals who were extremely successful almost always were thankful and spoke in faith, while others that were barely getting by financially complained and spoke only about doubt and unbelief. Other individuals spoke in faith, sometimes, and in doubt at other times. Most people produce exactly what they choose to speak, nothing more, nothing less. My mother used to tell me, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. If you don't have anything good to say about your job, your bills, and your bank account, don't say anything. Your words are like magnets that pull you closer to whatever you say. Speak like men and women you admire, and model those who are where you desire to be financially. Throw away your broke language of complaining, doubt, and unbelief. Speak the language of the rich, language filled with hope, faith, and joy. I'm not telling you to be someone else. I'm telling you to be you, the real you, the original you, the authentic you. Watch your words. They create your future. Your circle determines who you will become. Author David Ramsey said, "You will become who you hang around. If you hang around individuals who are broke, you will end up broke. If you hang around people who use their tongue unwisely, speaking doubt, unbelief, and complaints, you too will soon join them. If you hang around people who are rebellious, prideful, and have no respect for authority, you will eventually pick up the same attitudes. Friend, if you don't want to become like the persons you have been hanging around, it's okay to love them from a distance. I'm not telling you to be fake. I'm telling you it's okay to change your circle of friends and to pick up better habits. I was once afraid to change my circle of friends because those who seemed to be doing better than I were treating me differently. So I befriended individuals simply because I didn't want to be like those individuals who thought they were too good to interact with people who were less fortunate than them. My heart was good, but my knowledge was short-sighted. People in your circle who pull on you mentally, spiritually, and financially will ruin you. Partner with those who can pour into you. If you are the smartest, most driven, and wealthiest person in your core circle, you need to get a new circle. You don't have to disown people, but make sure your core group shares your same values and can strengthen you financially, spiritually, and mentally. Friend, you don't owe anyone anything. Live your life and let people go so that you can walk in your destiny. Again, be you. Don't befriend the richest person in the world simply because they have money. Be genuine and befriend individuals because you can share their core values and beliefs. Make sure they can help you develop personally. Your future and financial destiny is on the line. Figure out your big why. I read a story about a frail mother that picked up a car to rescue her son from being killed. However, if this mother didn't have a reason to pick up the car, a big why, she would have never thought in a million years that she would be able to lift the car. Find your big why and allow it to push you into the realm of the impossible. While you are confident you can achieve some things, there are others that you don't believe you can accomplish. However, finding your big why will force you to reach further than your limitations so you can obtain your financial freedom. Write down your big why. Why do you want to be financially free? Search your heart to find the primary reason you are going to act on your next simple idea. When you want to stop, when you want to give up, it's your big why. That will keep you moving forward. Your big why will drive you to cut off bad relationships and create new relationships. It is your big why that will help you act with a sense of urgency to slay the giant of poverty. Your big why will help you to reach past your limitations. Friend, there is a reason behind everything we do. There are so many hidden beliefs buried in us from childhood which dictate our actions. We make thousands of decisions daily, sometimes not knowing why we speak, act, and think the way we do. Most blacks who went to Detroit public schools thought it was cool to curse, speak slang, and talk with broken English. Today, some of them still follow those same principles. Unfortunately, now their children know more curse words than them, and they can't find a decent job because they never learned how to speak proper English. If you go to work tomorrow and just do enough work to keep your job, there is a reason. If you don't take a stand against poverty, which is trying to rip your family apart and destroy your life, there is a reason. If you are not moving forward and chasing after your dreams, there is a reason. For most people, there is a big lie, keeping them from embracing their big why to obtain their financial dreams. Dig up every lie in your mind that keeps you from doing what it takes to walk in your financial dreams. The widow who overturns the law. One of the most fascinating stories I have ever came across was about a widow who confronted a wicked judge. I'm sure that everyone who was in the court the first day the widow came to see the judge must have thought that she didn't have a chance, but she thought differently. In a certain town, there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared what people thought. And there was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, "Grant me justice against my adversary." For some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, "Even though I don't fear God or care what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually come and attack me." The moral of this story is simple and clear. If you refuse to take no for an answer, you will eventually be granted that which you request. The mean, wicked judge, who thought he was bigger and tougher than anyone else, became afraid of this widow. Her determination was so rare that it shocked him into fearing what she may do if he continued to decline her request. This is exactly what you have to do when poverty tries to rule your life. You must aggressively take a stand against it with your absolute faith, pressing your way into your destiny. It's yours if you are willing to take it. It's up to you to demand the life that you want. The poet W.E. Henley said something that breathes life into what this widow understood. He said, "You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. You can say yes or no to your dream of becoming financially free, but it's up to you to demand the life you want." Look into the face of every adversary with a calm, bold, joyful face, knowing deep down in your heart that you have already won the battle against poverty. It's only a matter of time before you experience your financial dreams. If you are willing to pursue your financial dreams with the same attitude as the widow, poverty will run out of your life. This type of attitude cannot be taught. It starts with a decision. Make up in your mind about where you are going and tell yourself, no matter what happens, I have made up in my mind that I am going to grab a hold of my financial dreams. Many entrepreneurs are frustrated. They've been running their businesses for 2 years or more, and the businesses are not yielding enough money to take care of their families. Going into business is not for the people who look back. It's for those who refuse to look back. It's for those who see their definite end and focus until they get there. I've never met anyone who kept pursuing their financial dreams and became failures. But I have met folks who gave up and regretted it. When you commit to moving forward with your idea, make sure you're willing to commit your life to it. You must develop relentless determination while pursuing your financial dreams. Look past rejections and see the possibilities. In times when you would have given up, instead, you grow and develop stamina. The fifth key will add laser focus to your desires to make sure you obtain your destiny. 8 principles behind the fourth door. 1. Begin with the end in mind. 2. If you know where you're going, you will get there. 3. Create a yearly vision board. 4. You have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. 5. Life happens to us all, but our thoughts, followed by our words, dictate what happens next. 6. Watch your words. They create your future. 7. Your big why will help you reach past your limitations. 8. It's up to you to demand the life you want.
Fifth key, focus your heart. Ask, seek, and knock. Friend, now that you know where you are going, the next key is to focus your heart on your desired end. It's not the people who put their hands on a million things at the same time that end up earning millions. It's those who find one thing to focus on at a time that usually hit their goals. If you are anything like me, you have many talents, gifts, and abilities. It may seem hard to select one thing to focus on in your life. However, that is exactly what you need to do in order to see your financial dreams come to pass. Your simple ideas should lead you to one primary focus that will grant you unlimited financial gain. Focus your heart on one thing at a time. Once you find the one thing you are going to commit to, make sure it is something you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life. Earl Nightingale followed the principle of which he called ask, seek, and knock. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door will be open. In other words, he was saying, inquire, pursue, and persist. Ask for what you want, pursue after it, and stick with it until you have it. It is not possible to ask for something, chase after it, and keep at it without focusing on it. Inquire, pursue, and persist. Unless you make up your mind to focus your heart on one thing at a time, the chances of your financial dreams coming to pass will be slim. However, if you take this fifth key and apply it, you have a 99% chance of obtaining your financial dreams. Dreamers become visionaries. Visionaries built the world around you by acting on their ideas. Every time you go downtown Detroit and see skyscrapers, or when you go to the Metro Airport and see airplanes, you are viewing the visible ideas of visionaries. Many individuals didn't have anything when they started, only an idea, a focused heart, and determination. When you take time out to think about what many individuals have accomplished, it's amazing. You are next in line to dream again. You can do it, and you will do it. Don't listen to the voice of impossible. Henry Ford didn't listen to the voice of impossible. He was a visionary who focused on building a V8 engine when nobody else thought it was possible. At one point, his engineer said, "We have done all we can. It's impossible to build this type of engine." Ford replied, "Do not stop. Keep working on it until you build it." The team of engineers eventually succeeded and built Ford his V8 engine. Ford was aware of the secret. Focusing on one thing at a time has incredible effects. Don't listen to the voice of impossible. It's important to focus your heart, not just your mind, on your simple idea. Individuals who walk in financial freedom all share a common characteristics. They focus intently on their goals and they are slow to change their decisions. They are confident they have made the right choice and are willing to stick with it. This is not always true amongst the lower class and middle class U.S. citizens. They are more likely to change their thoughts and ideas frequently, focusing on a number of things at the same time. Individuals who are wealthy are certain about the ideas and decisions they make, while others are uncertain. The gold mine in Detroit. Many people fail to walk in financial freedom because they have refused to take their focus off of the mountain of poverty long enough to see the beautiful garden of riches right beside them. It's like the man who did not know his great-grandfather left him $3 million when he died. One day he broke into a bank and stole $3 million. He was caught by the police. Now he is spending the rest of his life in prison for stealing his own money. The judge gave his money away to charity because there were no other close relatives to claim it. But this is what we do every day when we devalue the power of our own thought, which have the power to yield us more money than we will ever be able to obtain on our own. When we focus our hearts on one thing at a time, using our simple idea, incredible things happen. For example, in Detroit, we have had a gold mine for the last few years in real estate. The city is still practically giving away properties. However, few individuals in the Detroit area are buying them. There are people from all over the world investing in properties in the Detroit area, while many Detroiters are sitting around watching them take our gold. A couple years ago, I purchased a house at the Wayne County auction for $1,100. Think for a moment. With the job paying you minimum wage, you can save $1,100. Friend, if you set a simple goal to buy one house every year from the Wayne County auction held in September and October, in less than 10 years, you can accumulate $60,000 plus yearly passive income. Friend, go and get your gold back. Take advantage of the auction. Build your portfolio up with some discounted real estate. Where your treasure is, your heart will be. Unfortunately, some people have made poverty and lack their reward in life because they spend most of their time worrying about what they don't have. What you focus on most is what you will have in life. When you complain, you subconsciously tell your mind that you want more debt, more poverty, and more lack. Be content where you are and grow from there. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. How to take advantage of the Wayne County auction. Number 1, save enough money to register. Strive to save a minimum of $4,000 to $10,000 and go to @waynecounty.com. Number 2, connect with a seasoned real estate agent or an investor who can help you avoid pitfalls in unprofitable neighborhoods. Number 3, set a clear-cut goal you want to accomplish before you register. For example, I want to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranch style with a garage on the east side of Detroit between 7 and 8 Mile to rent out. Number 4, print out the list of the houses being auctioned early and get started. Number 5, a good strategy is to reach and go look at 100 houses on the list in one area you desire to invest in. I advise people to look at houses in Detroit close by other nice cities, a block or two away. These blocks can sometimes be great areas to invest in. Number 6, the biggest risk in investing in the auction is you cannot go into the property. Therefore, the location and the outside of the house are very important. Number 7, one strategy some investors use to lower their risk is to bid on homes that are still occupied, hoping they are in livable condition or not too bad inside. Note, you need a strategy to win in any investment. The list will show you the houses that are occupied. Number 8, main things to look at: roof, foundation, porch, windows, garage. Large trees in front or back of the house can cause sewer problems. Slanted driveways and location. Talk to the neighbors about the house. Number 9, the goal is to win when you buy. If everything in the house is horrible after you win the bid, you still can sell the house for a small profit if you do not desire to keep it and fix it up to rent it out. Number 10, finally, go with your gut. After you have done your research and looked at several properties and have received experts' advice. Whether the true focus of your heart is riches or poverty, you will obtain just that. You can only focus on one thing at a time. You can change your thought patterns from impoverished to prosperity in a number of ways. It takes effort and hard work, but it's worth it. One thought at a time. In her book, The Battlefield of the Mind, Joyce Meyer said something that will help shift your mindset and help you focus your thoughts on one desired end. She said, think about what you are thinking about. This will help you realize what you were focusing on before the shift, and it will help you focus on the right things. The more you take the time to follow the keys in this book and hold on to your faith, the more you will see things change drastically in your life for the better. Remember, this is not a get-rich-quick book. The principles only work if you use them. Think about what you are thinking about. Many people allow their minds to wander from day to day with no sense of control over their thought patterns. This is no magic formula. It takes work and effort to gain control over your mind. But I promise you, if you work at it by using these techniques, you will eventually see change in your bank account as well as in your day-to-day life. Studies show that 1% of the people in the world hold the majority of the world's wealth. These people learned over the years how to think and how to focus their heart intently on their desired results. They find their purpose and they stick to it no matter what. This information can be discouraging for those people who want to be rich tomorrow. There's work to do. Many times, the poverty, debt, and lack are direct results of their own bad thinking and unfocused hearts. Their poverty is a result of the way they have allowed their minds to be programmed. For many people, their thought patterns have come from the things they accepted and have constantly fed themselves over the years. Thought patterns are formed by family values, one experience while growing up, movies, TV, songs, and even the people you hang around. Unfortunately, most bad thought patterns happen to us in our childhood. Our parents' beliefs, fears, and worries about money become our worries. However, if you can think your way out of riches, you can think your way into riches. The key is to take one day at a time. First, determine what you will focus on until you start to thrive in it. This is typically something that you wouldn't mind doing for free. Then, reverse your surroundings with individuals who have good thought patterns. Feed your mind with the right books, your eyes with the right TV shows and movies, and your ears with the Word of God. The quickest way to turn anything around is by trusting in God to help you along the way. Friend, your mind is always working to bring you what it believes you want, either riches or poverty. Therefore, it is up to you to deprogram your mind from negative thoughts, reprogram your mind to think only positive thoughts that brings better conditions and ultimately financial freedom. The only way to fully do this is by faith. Don't dwell on your past failures, forget them, and only reflect on your past successes. This will help you tremendously as you endure this process and learn to focus on your desired end. Your mind is always working to bring you what it believes you really want. Turn the light switch in your mind on. The more you practice thinking about what you're thinking about, you will be amazed at your progress. It's a good idea for you to have fun with your thoughts by turning the light switch on in your mind. As you progress throughout your day, think about only the good things. When you come across a bad thought, imagine a light switch in your mind, put a huge smile on your face, take your right hand and flick it up. As soon as you take your right hand and motion it upward to turn the light on, start thinking about your simple idea. See and feel yourself obtaining your financial dreams when you empty your mind of bad thoughts and contradictory thoughts to your financial dreams. You must fill your mind with new, good thoughts. The only attitude to have to acquire wealth. Dr. Maltz said, "It doesn't matter how many times you have failed in the past. What matters is the successful attempts, which should be remembered, reinforced, and dwelt upon." When thoughts of prior failures and mistakes try to invade your mind, change the channel immediately. Think about your prior successes and good deeds as vividly as possible. Charles Kettering said, "Any man who wants to be a scientist must be willing to fail 99 times before he succeed once and suffer no ego damage because of it." That's the attitude we must all embrace. Failure is not an option. Don't even make it an available option. This is the only attitude to have to acquire wealth. Don't lose hope while you are focused on your desired end. When the brain knows the desired target, it will help you get there if we are willing to practice without ceasing. When a basketball player shoots 500 three-pointers a day, he probably misses 70% of his attempts. However, he gets better as he continues practicing. If it was based primarily on him practicing, he would get worse because he has probably missed more shots than he actually made. Instead, he gets better. The computer in his brain remembers and reinforces his successful attempts and forget the misses. Search your heart and do what is in your heart to do. Focus your heart and get the results you have always desired. There is no such thing as luck. Focus on your destiny daily and you will obtain good results. Don't lose hope while you are focused on your desired end. If you take a magnifying glass and focus it on a newspaper in the summer, it has the power to start a fire and burn the entire newspaper. Your focus on your simple idea causes you to stir up your burning desire it takes to burn up every opposition you are going to have to face before you experience dream fulfillment. Winston Churchill said, "Success is failure after failure without losing enthusiasm." Your focus on one item at a time will pay off in ways you never imagined. One single goal with one simple idea will bring you into financial freedom. The sixth key will show you how to stop wasting time and how to act intentionally. The 8 principles behind the fifth door. Number 1, focus your heart on one thing at a time. Number 2, inquire, pursue, and persist. Number 3, don't listen to the voice of impossible. Number 4, think about what you're thinking about. Number 5, reprogram your mind to think like the 1%. Number 6, your mind is always working to bring you what it believes you really want. Number 7, don't lose hope while you are focused on your desired end. Number 8, success is failure after failure without losing enthusiasm. Sixth key, be deliberate. Friend, today is a present. It's a gift. Unwrap it now. Don't take today for granted. It's all you have been given. Take advantage of every second you have. Someone breathed their last breath a second ago. You are still breathing. Behind every breath, you must be grateful and realize that it is another opportunity for you to go after your dreams and live in your purpose. Be deliberate. Act on your dreams today. Go after your desired financial end with a sense of urgency. Take advantage of every second you have. Number your days. The moment you make the decision to number your days and stop putting things off until the future, you will see your dreams come to pass. Tomorrow is not promised, and yesterday is in your past. From this day forward, act like it. Never put off until tomorrow what you can accomplish today. This alone will grant you more freedom than you have ever experienced. People become bound and lose hope because they refuse to discipline themselves enough to walk in their dreams. Number your days. Leo Buscaglia said, "Life lived for tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized." Friend, make a decision to live today. Broke people have a habit of living their lives on autopilot. Whatever happens, happens. Wealthy people live intentionally. They decide where they want to be, and daily they do something to get there. Neither person is better than the other. One is simply intentional about his success, while the other simply guesses and hoping he obtains success. Which one are you? Be deliberate and become wealthy. Ponder the path of your feet. One of my good friends once told me, "Ponder the path of your feet and let all your ways be established." He was telling me to contemplate, think over and over again on a regular basis the direction in which I planned on going. Today, I still go back and rethink my plans to make sure I am certain about where I am going. I take deliberate steps towards my goals. I am not hoping and wishing that my future would be bright. I am deliberate, doing what I need to do in order to make sure my future is bright. Do not live your life on autopilot. Live intentionally. Friend, if you desire to become debt-free, you must believe you can and then take action. In Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, he has a great strategy to get you out of debt called the Debt Snowball, which has helped thousands of people get out of debt. His simple principles work for most people who act now, keep their focus, and are determined. Use the Debt Snowball to become debt-free. The 5 simple steps, paraphrased, are: number 1, list your debt from smallest to largest. No matter the interest rate, forget the math for now. Write out everything you owe everyone. Number 2, start paying all your debt off in that order, smallest to largest. The secret is to get quick wins to become motivated to obtain big wins. Number 3, pay the minimum amount you have to pay monthly on the rest of your debt. Number 4, use every dime you can find from your budget, overtime, bonuses to pay off your smallest debt first. Do what you have to do to pay it off as quickly as possible. Number 5, lastly, go after your desire to be debt-free like a lion chasing its prey, relentless, focused, and determined. You can do it. Be deliberate and act now. In my 10-year search for financial freedom, I have found one of the best and quickest ways to become financially free is by paying off all your debt first. Paying off all your debt lowers your expenses, which helps you obtain financial freedom quicker. After you pay off all your debt, all you need are a couple of good investments in real estate, stocks, or a business to be able to live off of your own passive income. Friend, it is a great feeling. Go for it. You can do it. You can use the 3 principles you learned earlier to eradicate your debt. First, pay God. Second, pay yourself. Third, pay your future. Once you have your quick emergency fund, go ahead and use the other 20% from pay yourself and pay your futurable principles to cut off the head of debt. This will help restore your credit score as well if you are looking to buy a house in the near future. The 3 main things they look at to determine your FICO score are: first, if you're paying your bills on time. That's 35% of your score. Second, do not overuse your credit capacity. That's 30% of your score. Third, do not close old credit cards. Keep them open with a 0 balance. That's 50% of your score. These things count. Plan your day, and your day will soon pay for your future. In W. Clement Stone's speech, Do It Now, he told his audience, before you go to sleep at night, say, "Do it now," 50 times. When you wake up in the morning, say, "Do it now," 50 more times. This simple technique will create the sense of urgency you need to grab a hold of your dreams. Go ahead and thrive. Do it now. Friend, the world is full of people that are going to do something big, but few people are willing to spend their day deliberately focusing on the little things that could get them the big things. The longer you wait to act on your dreams, the less likely you will act at all. Friend, today is the day you stop procrastinating. If you already know what you should be doing or would like to do, you have my permission to put down this book and act right now. You can finish the book tomorrow, write out your business plan, finish polishing the idea for your first project, and soar. Today is the day you take that billion-dollar idea and put it on paper. Today is the day you tell yourself, enough is enough. I am moving forward with my dreams no matter what. The moment you start moving toward your financial dreams, you are going to be surprised by how much you can accomplish in days which you put off for years. You have the same amount of time throughout the day as everyone else. How do you plan to use it? Do you know what you are going to do for the 16 hours you are awake? What are your main priorities today? What 5 things can you do today to be pleased with your results? What does utopia looks like to you? It's up to you to identify the major areas in your life in which you desire to thrive. What is important to you? Add it to your calendar and make sure you pursue it daily. The goal is to start putting your life in order, but you'll never be able to do that if you aren't willing to plan out your day. I normally plan on Sunday for my entire upcoming week, but I want you to start today. For most people, if they don't act today, they'll never act. I am going to give you 5 secrets about planning your day that will catapult you to those places you desire. It takes less time to succeed than it does to fail. In his book, The Success System That Never Fails, W.C. Stone found that by doing the same things the same way, he received the same results. When you work the right way with the proper knowledge, effective techniques, and inspiration, it causes you to create a success system. When this system is applied, most people find out that it takes less time to succeed than it does to fail. Failure takes a lot of doubt, worry, and fear to manifest. To obtain success, all you need is faith in action. 5 secrets to planning a perfect day. First secret, pour into yourself the first portion of your day. Do things that stimulate your mind, things that relax your spirit, and those things that energize your body. Read, meditate, pray, exercise. Second secret, write down the major things you want to accomplish tomorrow. If you have had a hard time doing it before, block your time for 5 to 10 minutes. This secret causes you to know without a shadow of a doubt that you can do it. It builds your momentum and consistency. It creates new habits in your life that will benefit you tremendously. The third secret, give yourself time to reflect on your day. What could you have done better? What are some distractions that you can avoid tomorrow? What was done right? Write notes to approve tomorrow's plan. The fourth secret, set a rewarding goal inside of your plans. Something that if you complete in one day will cause you to be overjoyed. This goal may take a little more time than most of the things you plan, but it pays off gloriously. For example, I set a goal to write a full chapter in my book. I'm doing it now, and it's a remarkable feeling when it's accomplished. The fifth secret, maximize your day by being deliberate about your daily goals. While planning, think of things you could do on a regular basis that will make a world of difference in your life. Prioritize, prioritize, and prioritize. Do not wait until the middle or end of your day to earn money if you want to obtain $1.3 million next year. Start on it immediately. After you pray and pour into yourself, don't allow any distractions from Facebook, Twitter, nor Instagram. Focus, my friend. In the days to come, this will be the best decision you have ever made. Take the time now to plan your tomorrow. It normally takes around 15 to 30 minutes to plan your day. However, when you are first starting, it could take a few hours. Nevertheless, those hours will save you thousands of what could have been wasted hours in the future. Once you create what your perfect day looks like, copy it over and over again. Make sure it is in line with where you desire to be in 6 months, 1 year, and even 5 years from now financially. When you review your day and you are fully satisfied with everything you have planned, you will know you have planned your day correctly. Make sure you don't pile one thing on top of another when you are planning your day. Give yourself time to eat, include family time. If you are married, make time with your spouse and create 5 to 10 minute breaks to just relax. Account for the time you need to watch your favorite episodes, but be deliberate and be time conscious. It will change your life drastically. Budget what you have, and you will have more. When was the last time you took the time to direct your money where you wanted it to go? A budget helps you to take control over your finances. Carlos Slim's father taught him at a young age the importance of managing and keeping a close eye on his finances. 60 years later, in 2013, he was named the richest person in the world. You may not have a lot of money now, and it may be a little discouraging to manage what you have. Everything you have seems to go on bills. However, the moment you start paying close attention to your spending habits, you'll figure out ways to direct your finances toward things that can multiply your wealth. The budget is not meant to strain you. Budgeting allows you to have more liberty and more money. It's best that you start working on this now, so that when your idea brings you into financial freedom, your budgeting and money management skills will keep you there. If you truly believe that you are going to accumulate great wealth, manage what you have now so that you can handle the money that will soon come. We all have to start somewhere. The best place to start is where you are. The worse things are for you financially, the greater chance you have at financial freedom. Most people who are not dealing with economic hardships decide to go along with the crowd. They get a decent job and work 30 years for a company before retiring. On the other hand, people who can't find a decent job must rely on the government or figure out a way to provide for their family outside of conventional ways. This causes many individuals who live in poverty to go after their financial dreams. Their financial dilemmas are blessings in disguise, helping them to pursue their desired financial end. When they decide to go after their financial dreams, when they don't give up hope, they open themselves to a plethora of ideas that can lead them to financial freedom. However, if they don't learn to manage their dollar, they can end up losing their fortune like many have. Manage your dollar and you will manage a fortune. Examine your finances weekly to see where most of your excess cash is going. Besides bills, see if you can capitalize on areas where you are spending more than you should. Invest your excess cash in something that has the potential of multiplying your wealth. Remember, you should already be putting away 10% of all your earned income. However, through budgeting, you are going to find more money to invest. Learning to invest properly or using your excess cash to start your own business will bring you into financial freedom quickly. This is why it's so important to pay attention to your money. What you think is a little can become a lot with the right investments or business. Oprah didn't become a billionaire by accident. She was so intentional about sustaining her wealth that when she realized that eating out for lunch every day was breaking her budget, she decided to start bringing her own lunch to work every day. Yes, even Oprah has a budget. You should too. Don't despise small beginnings, my friend. In due season, you will reap your desired result if you decide not to quit. David Guerin started his organic growth company for around $700. He visited India in his 20s, and while eating some organic products, he decided to start an organic food business. He acted on his simple idea and formed Door to Door Organics. Now, 17 years later, he has grossed over $26 million in revenue. He invested $700, which yielded him $26 million. How much will you invest in your idea to reach $1 million? Dave Will was unexpectedly laid off from his employer, So he decided to start his own company, Peach New Media. His investment amount was roughly $2,600. He had an idea to resell software with a webcasting and learning software platform. In 12 years, he grossed over $5 million in revenue. His company, Models, is centered around becoming laser focused on what they do best. These things will prepare you for where your idea is going to take you. If you start managing your money, it's only a matter of time before someone starts writing about your story. Start budgeting today, and tomorrow you'll be happy you did. Take control over your life and thrive. Do this, and you will never be broke again. I call this secret the percentage indicator. Most people find it hard to follow these 3 principles that I mentioned earlier, which changed my life once I started following them. The 3 principles are: first, pay God; second, pay yourself; third, pay your future. I want to focus on the second principle. Whenever you earn money, put away a specific percentage of it. The minimum amount you should start saving out of every dime you earn is 2%. Start where you are today. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. How much money do you believe you can currently save out of every check you receive? Before you picked up this book, you may have believed that you couldn't save anything. The budget we have discussed was intentional for you to know that you are going to be able to save at least 2% of your income. Most people waste 15 to 20% of their net income. However, the amount you start with is not as important as the habit you are creating to acquire wealth. Once you start with 2%, you'll be encouraged to raise the percentage. Remember, without faith, you will never accomplish your financial dreams. It's very important to start doing what you want to do immediately. Therefore, I want you to take time to write your commitment to yourself about the amount of money you are going to start putting away immediately. The purpose behind saving is to become proactive against the rain and storm, yet reactive when the sun shines. You will be surprised the benefits, the peace, joy, and financial security you can have when you build a solid savings account. Therefore, I recommend 3 funds: a precautious fund for the rain, an emergency fund for the storm, and a freedom fund for the sunshine. Set a goal for your precautious fund to save a quick $1,000 in the next month or less than 3 months. No excuses. Please just think, how can I? Plan, believe, and act. You might have to do something outside of your job, like cut grass to get the money, wash cars, or sell something. Just do it. Set a goal for your emergency fund to save 6 to 8 months of your monthly expenses in case of job loss or something major happens in your life. Set a goal to have your emergency fund completed in 1 year. Again, you got this. Just do it. Set a goal for your freedom fund to use the rest of your savings after you have created a precautious fund and emergency fund to make smart investments. Before you begin investing with the pay your future and pay yourself principle, make sure you connect with a good fee-only financial planner, a mentor, or an expert in the area you desire to invest in to help you make sure you win financially. Friend, act now. Burton and Charles spent over 70 years in the stock market, and their advice on investing is to place the majority of the money you are going to invest in index funds. In their book, The Element of Investing: Easy Lessons for Every Investor, they stated, do what the professional investors do. Index the core of your portfolio, and then, if you must, make individual bets around the edges. But have the major core of your investment, and especially your retirement fund, in a well-diversified set of stocks and bond index funds. This is one way you can cause compound interest to work for you. Over a 10-year period, broad stock market index funds have regularly outperformed 2/3 or more of the actively managed mutual funds. In their experience, they found 4 advantages to index funds. Number 1, they simplify investing. Number 2, they save time and money. Number 3, they are cost efficient and tax efficient. Number 4, they are predictable. Friend, I encourage you to read Charles and Bert's book on investing to gain a better understanding of investing, the power of compound interest, and the advantages of index funds. This book will take you less than a day to finish, and you can go to your local library to borrow it today. It will reveal to you what percentage to allocate in your financial portfolio, how often to rebalance it for less risk, and the best stocks and bonds to consider based on over a lifetime of experience. Buffett has suggested that most people would be far better off simply investing in index funds. Individuals that move forward in life are those who act immediately. You don't have any time to waste. Just do it. Make a financial commitment to yourself that will help you create a habit. That habit will eventually multiply your wealth when invested properly. The percentage indicator. Friend, the objective for the percentage indicator is not to end where you start. If you start at 2%, move up to 8% when you are ready. If your first year, save 8%. In your second year, save 10%. In your third year, save 15%. Saving 20% in your fourth year. By the fifth year, you should be able to save 25%. In just 5 short years, you would have close to 50 times as much saved as the average household. Now, if you keep paying yourself 25% for the next 10 years, you could be making minimum wage and still be able to walk in financial freedom by investing in index funds. Whatever amount you decide to start with, make sure you are using the same percentage to pay your future. For example, if you start paying yourself 2%, pay your future 2% as well. I know these principles work, but it's up to you to work them. Remember, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. You can do this. You don't know what you are capable of doing until you act. Act today, not tomorrow. Your simple idea is all you need to walk in financial freedom. However, you need to learn how to value money and how to manage your money. Dream again and start where you are. Use the percentage indicator and you will never be broke another day in your life. The 7th key will help you realize that you are more than able now to carry out this task. The 8 principles behind the 6th door. Number 1, take advantage of every second you have. Number 2, number your days. Number 3, don't live your life on autopilot. Live intentionally. Number 4, use the debt snowball to become debt free. Number 5, plan your day and your day will soon pay for your future. Number 6, it takes less time to succeed than to fail. Number 7, maximize your wealth by prioritizing your day. Number 8, index funds are one of the best ways to make compound interest work for you. Seventh key, maintain your position. Courage is the big man inside. It gives you the ability to stand in the face of defeat and never back down. When you grab a hold of courage, you know it's only a matter of time before you walk in financial freedom. No circumstances, failure, nor setback can stop you from pursuing your desired end when you possess courage. You are willing to stand whether there are 1 million people with you or one. Courage is what you must activate to endure the journey toward financial freedom. I have never met one successful person who did not possess courage. Courage is the big man in you that you must activate to thrive. People lose hope when they hold on to the little man's opinion, which makes them doubt their financial success. Uncertainties silence the voice of the big man courage in your life. When you make up your mind to achieve something, it will happen. You let courage speak, think, and dream in you. Many people marvel at the success Warren Buffett has in the stock market. What they don't realize is that he said himself, "I always knew I would be rich, and I never doubted it for 1 second." Buffett let courage speak for him. Activate. the big man inside. The challenges we face daily are enormous. Therefore, we must allow courage, the big man, and our spirit man to rise up in us to silence our prideful enemies. Many experts think of it as our subconscious mind. The truth is, we don't have a subconscious mind. We have a mind, a spirit, and a body that we live in. The spirit man is the real you. He is unmovable, unshakable, and full of courage. Your spirit man was designed and created to dominate and flourish in the earth. Resist the little man. Most people have grown fully unaware of the power they have within them. They have allowed their minds to be dominated by the little man who carries the voice of uncertainties, lies, and deceit. The little man who invades your mind and try to make you believe you can't succeed. I have good news for you today. You can activate the big man, courage, today. As a teenager who frequently visited the movies, I remember hearing the phrase, "Silence is golden." I never knew it would lead me to some of the most precious gold I've ever discovered. The reality of my true self. I came across this truth years ago as a believer. My Heavenly Father one day said to me, "Take out time to just sit quietly before me each day." At first, I was resistant, but when I followed His instructions, within a year, I found out that the person I pretended to be all of my life was not who I really was. Silence is golden. It will help you unlock the treasures inside of you. I had unknowingly conformed to the person I thought I was based on the environment I grew up in. I conformed to what others thought of me. I listened to the voice of the little man. I found out I wasn't someone who was fearful, unbelieving, doubtful, prideful, or broke. I am faithful, hopeful, confident, and humble with untold riches stored inside of me. I woke up inside, and it was all because of my Father's simple advice. This thought led me to understand that how I saw myself would determine what I would become and eventually have. Silence is golden. The treasure that is in your heart, the real you, the big man, is glorious. But if you never silence your mind, you will never become aware of your true self. When you create this habit of sitting in silence in a room for a few minutes daily, the first thing that happens is you silence the voice of the little man. The little man will always try to suggest things to you, even in silence, but you will learn not to hearken to his lies and deceit because your discernment will get sharper. You will also become refreshed, rejuvenated, and less stressed. You will become more aware of who you really are, the person God created you to be. You'll come to know the confident, faithful, hopeful, humble, wealthy, unmovable person you truly are. You will receive ideas that can turn your financial dilemmas around when you act on them. This exercise will completely change your life as you sit before God in silence. After all, He is the only person that can lead you to focus on the right things in life and to help you walk in your purpose. His riches add no sorrow. The good news is God wants you to become wealthy. He wants to make your name great. Jesus declared, "I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly." The real you is full of courage. Outside of God, there is no amount of money that will truly be able to satisfy anyone. It's only in Him that real satisfaction comes. I learned this in my 20s when I had everything materially and financially I wanted and still had a huge void in my heart. As you open up your heart and trust God, in return, He will trust you and give you the power to get wealth. God wants you to prosper. However, He doesn't want any of us to value money over Him or put money before Him. Allow God to take you places you have never dreamed. Money is just a means of exchange, an idea. It doesn't really have a substance. However, God is full of substance, wisdom, and riches. Be still. There is more in you than you think. In Napoleon Hill's classic, he mentions the man who went into his office for hours and set for ideas. He believed the answer was somewhere in his mind. He just needed to sit quietly and let them come to him. He waited for them, and because of it, he became rich. Do what others refuse to do and walk in your financial dreams by taking 20 to 30 minutes each day to sit quietly. It's the doers in life who walk in their destiny, not just the thinkers or readers. Make up your mind to be a doer, follow the principles, say goodbye to poverty, and hello to financial freedom. Don't be double-minded. My father once told me a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. Friend, go after your financial dreams without second-guessing yourself. Once you find the idea that is going to make you financially free, act on it. Don't let anything deter you from obtaining it, not even yourself. A determined mind reaching toward a clear-cut goal is sure to hit its target. Maintaining your position is one of the hardest things you will ever have to face because at times you are going to have to rely solely on your faith. Sometimes everything around you is going to tell you that the idea you decided to act on is not going to get you to where you desire to be financially. However, if you continue to stand, no matter how things look on the outside, you are going to see things turn around. Take the advice of Saad Sharizes. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. Keep moving forward. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. There's a graphic on social media of the man digging for diamonds. He stops digging minutes before obtaining his fortune. Unfortunately, for most people, they stop right before they obtain everything they were working toward. I heard a story about a church that lost $1 million one year and almost shut down. However, the pastor continued doing God's will and moving forward. Although they could not fully fund the church, he relied on what he believed God had told him to do rather than second guess himself and close the church doors. He was determined to move forward. The next year, he had to return home from Texas back to Detroit to run the church he started. The same year he returned, he found oil on the land of the church. Soon, the church will be self-sufficient with no financial problems. When you are single-minded and focused, you will eventually obtain the results you desire, even if everything around you seems to be falling apart. Keep the faith and hang on in there. Things will turn around in your favor. Your desired end and financial freedom will be yours. Stand strong and hold on to your faith, no matter what. You may have dealt with poverty all your life. As a matter of fact, your family might have dealt with poverty from generation to generation, and it seems like no one in your family has ever been able to get ahead. I have good news for you. Giants do fall. Poverty is a giant that loves to destroy families, make people miserable, and drive people off the edge. But once poverty is confronted with an unwavering warrior mentality, it's only a matter of time before it takes its hands off of you and your family. Speak, think, and imagine. You are in a battle that you are guaranteed to win. Most people don't even dare to stand up against poverty, let alone think they have a chance to overcome it. Friend, each day you wake up, each day you think the right thoughts and speak the right words, you take a stand against poverty. When I wake up in the morning, I make strong declarations like a king to guarantee my triumph over poverty. I speak what I want to see into my day. Say these words out loud with great authority and mean every word you say. I decree and I declare over this day, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am intelligent, I am happy, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am accepted, I am walking in financial freedom, I am living my dream. Giants do fall. Poverty is a giant that you can slay. These declarations will uppercut poverty and put it out for the count. The only thing you need to do afterwards is line up your conversations throughout the day with positive words. In the past, you may not have realized the effects of your words, but if you follow the steps in this book, you will be able to instruct others how to kill the giant of poverty as well. Your words direct your life. Speak loudly, speak boldly, speak freedom. Your words direct your life. Speak loudly, speak boldly, speak freedom. Death and life are in the power of your tongue. After you make your declarations of faith, take one of the statements and meditate on it. Repeat, I am wealthy, over and over again in your mind while you are taking a shower, while you are brushing your teeth, and even while you are getting dressed. Think and speak daily, I am wealthy. These two exercises will help shift your mentality and build your faith. You'll be able to fight and stand against the giant of poverty. Let the dominant thought in your mind be faith, courage, and hope. This will create the courage and burning desire that's necessary for you to go after your financial dreams. Also, these steps will help you resist the little man's thoughts when they come into your mind. Your imagination is another world that you should visit often. The final thing I recommend that you do daily is use your imagination. Your imagination is another world that you should visit often. Speaking, thinking, and imagining your financial freedom are the three giant slayers. After you use these three simple techniques while acting on your simple idea, poverty will be the thing of the past. Take 15 minutes a day to see and feel yourself wealthy, healthy, and happy. You have to see yourself driving the car you desire to drive, living in the house where you want to live, and enjoying the family you love. Be as detailed as possible when you imagine the life you want to have. Your imagination gives you the opportunity to experience everything you desire before you get it. It gives you the ability to overcome every obstacle, the patience to persevere, and the strength to slay the giant of poverty for good. If visionaries never used their imagination, there would be no airplanes, skyscrapers, jets, lights, or automobiles. God uses imaginations with many of his servants to help them see where he will take them in the future before they arrive. God had Abram look at the stars as his descendants. God gave Joseph great dreams of him ruling and his family bowing to him. God showed Paul the places he should visit in order to be effective in ministry. It's your turn to think, imagine, and dream again. Practice envisioning your God-given purpose, your abundant life, and the best God has for you. The eighth and final key to financial freedom will challenge you to spread your wings and soar to new heights. The 8 principles behind the 7th door. Number 1, courage is the big man in you that you must activate to thrive. Number 2, silence is golden. It will help you unlock the treasures inside of you. Number 3, the real you is full of courage. Number 4, have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. Number 5, stand strong and hold on to your faith no matter what. Number 6, giants do fall, and poverty is a giant that you can slay. Number 7, your words direct your life. Speak loudly, speak boldly, speak freedom. Finally, number 8, your imagination is another world that you should visit often. Eighth key, come out of your cocoon. Do you have a plan for your personal growth? It was my 10-year pursuit of financial freedom that led me to this question. At the time, I didn't have a plan for my personal growth. I thought, like most people, that personal growth would be something that just happened. But personal growth doesn't come by accident. It comes by being intentional. I learned that you must come out of your cocoon like a butterfly in order to fly. Friend, it is your time and your turn to soar. It's your time to thrive and walk in your financial dreams. If you change, everything around you will change. James Allen once said, people are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound. Bondage is a lie that can only entangle individuals who refuse the truth. The truth is, until you are willing to grow personally, you will always be stuck in your past. You'll battle with the same problems, issues, and challenges, wondering why you keep going in circles. You have too much potential to waste. Your full potential will never be fulfilled until you grow personally. Jim Rohn said, if you change, everything around you would change. He was right, but most people live on autopilot, hoping and wishing that one day they will get rich, instead of deciding to grow personally. And thinking their way out of poverty, they turn to the lottery or other get-rich-quick methods. Even if they hit the lottery, there's a good chance they'll lose all of their winnings within the year. If you change, everything around you will change. For most lottery winners who refuse personal growth, acquiring money management skills, and financial literacy prior to their winnings, they find themselves back in their same financial dilemmas within a year. They have essentially gained wealth they were not ready for. Friend, you must grow before you go. It is only then that you can multiply what you have and be a blessing to others. You must grow before you go. You can become the person you want to be. George Eliot said it best, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." Friend, you must first believe that you can grow personally. You have to believe you can become the person you want to be. You must believe that you could develop the character that will take you further than any gift you possess. All things are possible to them that believe. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. What do you think? If you think you can, I'm certain you have already started acting on the principles you have learned in this book. If you think you can't, you will be a procrastinator the rest of your life. Whether you think you can or can't, I believe in you, and I am confident that you can. Do it now. If you are ready for everything to change in your life, write the person you want to be below. This step is similar to the fourth key because you must know the type of person you want to be in order to become that person. Be specific, clear, and concise as possible. Personal growth exercise. Take 10 minutes a day to read the statement you just wrote out loud. Imagine your new self. For example, if you wrote, "I want to be kind, confident, patient, and happy," imagine yourself being kind to family, friends, and co-workers. See yourself as confident, patient, and happy as possible. During the 10 minutes, say, "I am kind, I am confident, I am patient, and I am happy." You will become what you think about all day long. By learning to think differently, you become the person you have always believed you could be. In order for change to occur in your life, you must believe differently and accept the person you know you were destined to become. Start this exercise tonight. When you finish it, look in the mirror and wave goodbye to the old you, smile, and welcome the new you. Your attitude will make you or break you. The right attitude enriches your personal growth. Colin Powell said, "If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters." Excellence is not an exception, it is a prevailing attitude. Your attitude will make or break you. A bad attitude always makes things harder than they really are. People turn away from their dreams because they have a bad attitude. However, a good attitude can make the worst times in your life the most beneficial by funneling the energy toward your dreams. It's going to take confidence, patience, and persistence for you to grow personally and financially. If your attitude is bad, it will take you twice as much time to get the same desired end as it would with a good attitude. Choose wisely, take Colin Powell's advice, and walk in greatness. Search your heart for the root to your attitude. Why do you behave the way that you do? What makes you talk to people any kind of a way? Why do you feel the way you do in certain environments, around certain people? When you are determined to grow personally, you must take time and ask yourself the hard questions about your behavior. Try to pinpoint where it started. For most individuals, their childhood left them with a lot of emotional bruises and scars they haven't uncovered yet. Until you forgive your parents, relatives, and friends, you will never have a genuine good attitude. That doesn't mean what they did to you was right, but you are doing more damage to yourself by holding on to unforgiveness, bitterness, and hatred. These things hinder you from walking in your full potential. It also prevents you from acquiring great wealth. Once you release individuals from past mistakes, you have a great chance at living a life full of purpose, joy, and love. How to let go of unforgiveness, bitterness, and hatred. The key to let go of unforgiveness, bitterness, and hatred is to decide from this day forward that all of your relationships are going to be right. Secondly, forgive and release yourself. On a sheet of paper, write everything you have done wrong in your life that you are not proud of or that disappointed you. After you write it, say this affirmation: with God's help, I forgive and release myself with all my heart and soul from say the things you did wrong. After you say it, cross it out on the paper while taking a quick deep breath. Release it slowly while imagining the thing you did wrong leaving your life. Do this for everything you wrote down. Then tear the paper up and throw it away. Then say, I like myself, I love myself, and I accept myself. Thank you, Lord, for freedom. Third, you must release others from the bitterness or hatred you hold in your heart towards them. You can imagine you are talking to the person and forgiving them. If the person is dead, you can't tell them that you forgive them. Simply imagine you are talking to them in order to forgive them. If the person is still alive and you have the courage and confidence to talk to the person, I encourage you to do so. If you don't have the courage to do so, it's okay. You can release these individuals by using your imagination as well. In order for you to grow as a person and move forward with your life, forgiveness is paramount. It's important that you take time to forgive everyone individually. Say this affirmation: with God's help, I forgive you and I release you from what you released them from. I bless you. I am moving forward and I am growing personally. I will no longer allow this issue to hinder me. You are forgiven. I nail your sins to the cross of Calvary, where all of my sins have been nailed. Thank you, Lord, for helping me. I am free. In the future, if any unpleasant thoughts rise up in your heart about these individuals or anyone else, do this exercise as often as you need. It will turn your life around in ways you never imagined. You will reap what you sow. When you make up your mind to make sure all your relationships are right, you may not get along with everyone. Many people that refuse to give up unforgiveness, bitterness, pride, and hatred stay stuck, going in circles. However, don't let their issues affect your attitude. Continue to treat people with the respect, kindness, and love, regardless of their actions towards you. You are going to get what you give, and so will they. Your decision to grow changes everything in your life. Your immature days are gone. You always reap what you sow. If you give respect, you will receive respect. If you give kindness, others will be kind to you. If you give love, you will receive love. On the other hand, if you give hatred, in return, you will reap hatred. If you give bitterness, you will receive bitterness. If you refuse to forgive others, you will not be forgiven. None of us are perfect. We have all made many mistakes and will make many more. But it's up to you to learn to sow everything you want to reap in your future. Most successful people give at least 10% of their earned income to charity, churches, or worthy causes. They understand the law of sowing and reaping. If you are not a giver, become one. If you want men to give to you abundantly, learn to give to others freely. You will always reap what you sow. Trade your pleasures for success systems. In the movie Gifted Hand, Ben Carson's mother wanted the best for her sons. Through much prayer and asking God for direction, she received the answer during her normal cleaning duties in a successful doctor's home. As she cleaned and looked around at thousands of books, she asked, "Did you read all these books?" He replied, "Yes, most of them." When she arrived home and found her two boys watching TV, she immediately turned the TV off and told them, "You boys watch too much TV. If you read as much books as you watch TV, someone one day will be watching you on TV." She was absolutely right. She made her sons read and summarize 2 books a week. One of her sons went on to become a successful engineer, and her youngest son, Ben Carson, is probably the greatest neurosurgeon that has ever lived. He even ran for president of the United States in 2016. In his book, The Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey shared his quest for finding out how money really works, how to get control of your finances, and how to gain confidence in handling it. He said, I read everything I could get my hands on. I interviewed older rich people, people who made money and kept it. That quest led me to a really uncomfortable place, my mirror. I came to realize that my money problems, worries, and shortage largely began and ended with the person in my mirror. I realized also that if I can learn to manage the character I shave with every morning, I could win at money. Until you face the man in the mirror, you are not ready to thrive financially. It's not what you have or don't have that is stopping you from walking in financial freedom. It's the knowledge that you are rejecting. Everything you need to know is hidden in someone's book. The only reason it's hidden to you is because you haven't opened the book yet. Once you read the books, the answers are there in black and white. This book was designed to build up your faith and lay a solid foundation for you to thrive financially. However, there are other books that are going to help you take your idea to the next level. Never stop learning, or you will automatically stop growing. But are you willing to keep searching? You have your hands on a treasure now that is designed to create a thirst and a hunger for you to dream. Act on your dream and mature to hold on to them. Dave Ramsey said, winning at money is 80% behavior and 20% head knowledge. Through reading, you will know better to do better. You'll understand more to obtain more. The more you feed yourself with inspiration to change, the more your money will change for the better. Pay the cost to be the boss. Most people are so consumed by pleasures, movies, hanging with friends, and social media, they will never know they are still experiencing lack, stunted growth, and mediocrity. Unfortunately, the books they need to read to turn everything around for them personally, spiritually, mentally, and financially can be right in their own library at home. They are just too distracted to read it. What you seek diligently, you will find. Pay the cost to be the boss. Trade in most of your pleasures for success systems that develop you personally. Turn off the TV, hang out less, and please stop spending 3 hours a day on social media. Most people complain about how much time they don't have in a day, but they don't realize how much of their day they waste. Action step. When you get up in the morning, use your cell phone to track every minute you use in excess throughout your day. For example, how long did you watch TV? How much time did you spend on social media? How long did you play video games? Be sure to include time spent getting dressed, driving to work, and working to get an understanding of where most of your time is going. If you don't know how much time you are spending on each activity, how will you ever be able to manage the time you have? Successful people have some of the best calendars. They know that if they lose money, they can get it back. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. You'll be surprised how much time you really have in your day. Walk away from the reactive lifestyle and embrace the proactive lifestyle. Set up successful systems that will get you to where you desire to be as a person and financially. Some people complain about how many hours they spend at work. However, depending on the job you have, you can maximize time at work by listening to powerful audiobooks, inspiring speakers, and the Bible. Time is a great asset, but you must learn to use it wisely. Search your life for areas where you can maximize your 24 hours a day. Michael Gerber said, systems permit ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. Creating a system that fits your life will simplify your life and help you to reach far beyond mediocrity. Set your own pace and set up effective systems that you know you can carry out daily. In John Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, he said your system should cover and answer the following questions. Number 1, the big picture. Will the system help you reach your big goals? Number 2, your priorities. Is the system consistent with your values and commitments? Number 3, measurement. Does the system give you a tangible way to judge if you have succeeded? Number 4, applications. Does the system have a built-in bias toward action? Number 5, organization. Does the system make better use of your time than what you are doing now? Number 6, consistency. can and will you easily repeat the system on a regular basis. Take charge of your life and be proactive by setting up systems that assure you of the personal development you desire. While creating your system, don't forget to ask yourself the questions above in order to make sure your personalized success system is effective. Remember, the more you grow up, the more you go up. Businesses have used systems for decades to achieve goals. Now it's your turn. See yourself as a business full of energy, excitement, and productivity, preparing yourself to soar and achieve great success. Allow your own unique system to discipline you and bring you more fun and effectiveness into your life. Don't settle for less. A disciplined life will reward you greatly. Success systems will help you create a disciplined life, a detailed financial plan, and a detailed growth plan. You'll have a life full of purpose, amazement, and destiny. Encourage yourself. Friend, one final point. You must learn how to encourage yourself. Everyone is not going to feel the same way about your financial dreams as you do. You are going to have to push past rejection without taking it personally. You have to set daily goals to accomplish your set and end goals. You are going to have to put in the necessary time to see your financial dreams fulfilled. Therefore, you must encourage yourself. There will be some bad days, some good days, and some great days. Throughout it all, you must keep moving forward. Don't let up and don't give in no matter what. Dream again, live again, hope again. Move forward today to conquer the giant of poverty and to live a life of financial freedom. As long as you believe you can do it, that's all that matters. You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. The decisions that you make will prove to you and the world what you truly believe. You don't have to become great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Take Les Brown's advice. You don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to be great. Go for it. Use the 8 keys to financial freedom presented in this book to unlock your money and do great things. You belong on top, and that is exactly where you're headed. My friend, I look forward to seeing you there. The 8 principles behind the 8th door. Number 1, if you change, everything around you would change. Number 2, you must grow before you go. Number 3, your attitude will make you or break you. Number 4, let go of unforgiveness, bitterness, and hatred. It is slowing you down. Number 5, you will always reap what you sow. Number 6, until you face the man in the mirror, you are not ready to thrive financially. Number 7, pay the cost to be the boss. Number 8, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. We pray you were instructed and inspired to live the life you want. We want to thank you for your support, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. We want to personally thank Tanita Johnson, our editor, Norman Plant, our book designer, Carlos Tubbs at Mad Media, and of course, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving us the faith to move forward with this project. We have not arrived yet, but we are striving to use our gifts and talents to benefit the world around us. Connect with us at ericleebrown.com to follow us and to check out our new show. To register for our 8 weeks class, please visit reversefinancialdilemmas.com. Please note, this book is designed to provide information and motivation to our readers. It is sold with the understanding that the publisher is not engaged to render any type of psychological, legal, or any kind of professional advice. The context of each article is the sole expression and opinion of its author, and not necessarily that of the publisher. No warranties or guarantees are expressed or implied by the publisher's choice to include any of the context in the volume. Neither the publisher nor the individual authors shall be liable for any physical, psychological, emotional, financial, or commercial damages, including but not limited to special, incidental, consequential, or other damages. Our views and rights are the same. You are responsible for your own choices, actions, and results. Remember, we love you. Continue to keep God first and go straight to the top. God bless.